Modern cloud storage is built on infinite expansion. Data centers instantly allocate terabytes of space, splitting into dozens of parallel environments on demand. Yet the way we interact with that data is restricted by an arbitrary software constraint. The official Dropbox desktop application contains a hard-coded limitation. You can only install and run one account per physical device. This table compares the software's single-account bottleneck against modern workflows: employees with personal files, freelancers managing 5 client workspaces, and power users running multiple businesses. But no hidden setting allows syncing unlimited accounts to one local drive. The software's physics simply prohibit it. Choosing a multi-account solution comes down to a strict evaluation of your priorities. You must decide whether your workflow relies on local file synchronization or if you require the ability to scale an infinite number of independent accounts. We can map out a strategic matrix to route you to the optimal technical workaround based precisely on how you interact with your files daily. Bypassing enterprise limitations requires stepping outside the intended ecosystem and accepting a calculated compromise in convenience or cost. Does your daily operation require seamless local folder sync within your computer's file explorer? If yes, you are routed to the official linking method. Activating this path requires administrative access to at least one paid Dropbox business tier. When you link a business account with a personal one through the web dashboard, the desktop application recognizes the pairing. It generates 2 distinct active folders natively within your operating system. However, this method hits a hard constraint immediately. The architecture strictly limits you to a maximum of 2 linked accounts. You cannot add a third. The second constraint restricts the account types you can pair. The software prohibits linking 2 personal accounts or 2 business accounts. The combination must always be one of each. If you are a single user who simply wants an extra local folder, paying for a premium business tier, which is priced to include enterprise team features you will never use, creates a high financial friction. Official linking provides a flawless local experience, but it is a walled garden. It is built strictly to accommodate the traditional salaried employee managing a few family photos alongside their corporate documents, not the multi-client contractor. For independent operators managing 3 to 10 separate workspaces, cross-contamination is a liability. They require complete environmental separation for every client. Returning to our flowchart, users who prioritize infinite scale over local sync are routed down the No branch. This lands them at cloud and browser isolation. To set this up, you create dedicated user profiles within Chrome or Edge, or utilize a cloud session manager like Sendwin. Each profile acts as an independent browsing instance. Sandboxing removes all account limits. You can run unlimited client accounts side by side. The browser isolates the cookies and cache for each tab, resulting in 0 login conflicts or session overwrites. For agencies handling NDA-protected material, strict browser isolation ensures that data from Client A physically cannot leak into the active session of Client B. The operational trade-off here is severe. You lose all automated background file synchronization. Every file must be manually downloaded and uploaded through the web interface. What sandboxing sacrifices in desktop convenience, it recovers in limitless scalability and bulletproof data integrity. There is a third demographic: power users who refuse to pay enterprise fees but cannot tolerate manual web uploads. This leads to the first advanced alternative: third-party cloud managers like multi-cloud. These platforms bypass your local hard drive entirely. They use API connections to execute automated file transfers directly between different cloud servers. An API, or Application Programming Interface, is a set of protocols that allows different software applications to communicate directly with each other. If you want cost-free, scriptable control, the command line tool rclone handles the same routing. A CLI, or command line interface, lets you interact with software by typing text commands rather than clicking buttons. Command line tools execute complex syncs efficiently, but they require a steep learning curve and high technical literacy to configure without accidentally deleting your own data. The most extreme workaround forces parallel local sync through sheer computational mass. You spin up virtual machines for each account. You install software like VirtualBox, create separate miniaturized operating systems on your computer, and install a standalone instance of the Dropbox application inside each one. This exacts a massive hardware toll. Each isolated environment demands 2 to 4 gigabytes of your computer's dedicated RAM just to stay open. Running 3 instances simultaneously consumes significant system memory. The resulting bottleneck degrades your overall system performance, slowing down the very work you are trying to sync. Forcing the desktop software to scale beyond its design requires you to either pay a third-party service toll or sacrifice massive amounts of local hardware processing power. This matrix breaks down the entire landscape, mapping specific solutions directly to your professional role. If you are a standard salaried employee with an employer-paid business account, native linking provides frictionless daily use. If you are an agency contractor managing multiple clients, browser isolation allows you to scale indefinitely without accumulating massive infrastructure costs. If you are a data manager comfortable with code, tools like rclone allow for automated, headless synchronization without consuming your local storage. Success at this scale relies on aligning a technical compromise with your specific business model. Scaling to multiple accounts introduces an exponential increase in your attack surface. Fragmenting your files across 3, 5, or 10 distinct logins effectively bypasses any centralized security protocol. Every individual account becomes a potential access point for a breach. Mitigating this risk requires strict administrative habits. You must enforce two-factor authentication, requiring a secondary device prompt to log in, across every single node. Furthermore, you must implement a rigid, standardized folder naming convention so sensitive data is never misplaced. Mastering cloud storage at scale reveals a final reality. True data control comes from the discipline of your operational systems, not your software's permissions.